They've made some changes. Atlassian WilliamsRacing team, their new title sponsor, leaving only one team, your team, without a title sponsor. Yep. Obviously, the big wave here is Carlos Sainz, coming over from Ferrari, number 55, former race winner, alongside Alex Albon, who's a very savvy, strong veteran driver as well. Expectations-wise, I think this is a team that could surprise us this year. I actually am imagining them not finishing in 9th place. They've got a really strong lineup. They've got really good leadership with James Vowles. I like the direction they're going in. However, I'm not expecting them to make any jumps up to like 5th place. I think they're probably going to cap out around 6th at best, mostly because this is a team that for years has said we are looking ahead to the next regulations. We are looking ahead to 2026. This is not a team that is trying to fight for championships by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't expect them to be at the bottom of the barrel. I expect them to still be quite a bit ahead of the Sauber team.
So I just went and looked. Combined last year, Williams had 5 points. I would expect obviously more than that. There isn't any reason why Williams. I'm sorry. I know it's Atlassian.
We'll call them Williams. It's Williams. It's Williams.
Sorry.
They got a cool title sponsor, but we all know what we're talking about
here. James Vowles has done a really good job, gearing that team up. They look better and better year in, year out. Last year, it was the driver changes that was happening on top of the crashes that was occurring. Those were the main issues for Williams last year. It felt like literally every week it was bad. It was really, really bad for them. I would expect a much cleaner year this year. Carlos Sainz, you would talk about a savvy vet. Carlos Sainz has been around, but he's only had experience with really good teams, and he can get points. He had 290 points. Now, granted, that was in a Ferrari engine. I understand that. But I think Carlos Sainz is going to be able to help Alex Albon kind of flourish into the driver we think Albon can be. And that's a really good driver because we already think Alex Albon is a pretty good driver. I would say he could be in the discussion for top 10. Maybe he's at that 10 point. We could do that another day. But I think that this team is going to exceed expectations from last year. I would not be surprised if Williams is... I'll put it to you this way. I'd be more surprised if Williams is outside of the top 5 than I would be if they were.
Okay. I mean, overall, I think 2025 is kind of their soft launch to 2026. 2026 is going to be the moneymaker. It's going to be the definer, really, for all of the investment that James Vowles and all of their sponsors and all of their backers have really put into this team. Aiming for 2026, getting off to a really, really good start. 2025 is kind of the soft launch. This is the driver lineup as it moves forward. This is what we've got moving forward. Between Alex Albon, between Carlos Sainz, you've got race winners here. You've got a lot of experience here. You've got savvy drivers that are not going to put it in the wall every single weekend. Human error is human error. Don't get me wrong. Both these guys crashed at like Interlagos last year, but so did like 4 other drivers that weekend in the pouring rain. Overall, I think this is a team that's going to exceed 2024. Maybe they're not fighting anything. They're not fighting for wins, but I could see them in that mix within that, P6 down to maybe like P8, that title fight. And for a team like Williams, again, one of the smaller teams on this grid, every championship point matters. Every place that you can gain matters, especially for these smaller teams down the grid. And Williams, who have had a lot of struggles when it comes to just infrastructure over the years, as much as they can possibly put into this team, I think this is going to be a really big year for them. But again, let's keep the expectations a little bit more muted.